I never thought I'd be the guy posting something like this, but here I am. My name's Jake, and I've been with my wife, Emily, for about 5 years. At first, everything seemed perfect. She was the kind of woman you'd see in those rom-coms, beautiful, confident, smart. We met in college, hit it off right away, and I thought I found someone who'd be with me forever. We had plans, big plans. A house, a dog, maybe a kid or two. I trusted her completely, or so I thought. But over the past few months, something felt off. Little things, you know. She started being more distant, secretive even. She'd pick up her phone and quickly lock her screen if I looked over. Sometimes she'd cancel plans last minute or be annoyingly bitchy over small things. I brushed it off, told myself she was stressed, maybe overwork or something. She's always been the type to be bitchy when she's upset, though I never thought it'd be because she was sneaking around behind my back. The real shocker happened during our wedding rehearsal dinner. Everything was supposed to be fun, friends, family, drinks. But I was restless that night, feeling like I was missing something. I kept catching her eye across the room, and there was this weird tension. Then I noticed her texting furiously, hiding her phone in her purse. I remember thinking, that's odd. But I didn't say anything, just kept my distance. Later that night, I was about to go to bed when I saw her phone sitting on the nightstand. Out of curiosity and maybe a little suspicion, I glanced at it. There were messages, nothing explicit at first, but enough to give me a sinking feeling. She was talking to someone named Mike a lot, calling him babe, saying things like can't wait to see you tonight and miss you already. The thing that hit me hardest, she was doing all this behind my back, right under my nose during the week leading up to our wedding. I sat there stunned, trying to process what I'd just seen. How could she do this? After all the promises, the love, the forever talk, it felt like my world was collapsing. I kept telling myself I must have misunderstood. Maybe it was just flirtation, maybe she was drunk or joking. But deep down, I knew better. This wasn't some harmless joke, she was cheating on me. And she had been doing it for weeks, maybe longer. The worst part, I knew I had to confront her, I couldn't just ignore it. I wanted to believe she'd deny it, call me paranoid or overreacting, but I also knew that was just her way. She's always been bitchy when caught, quick to lie and spin stories. Still, I had enough. I was done playing naive. So the next morning, I woke up with a pounding head and a heavy heart, knowing that everything was about to change forever. The morning after I found those messages, I didn't sleep much. My mind was racing, trying to piece everything together. The images of her texting Mike, the way she'd get defensive if I ever pointed out her suspicious behavior, everything suddenly made sense in a sick, twisted way. I felt betrayed, furious, and honestly, pretty helpless. That day I decided I couldn't just let it slide. I waited until she was in the kitchen, casually making coffee, acting like nothing was wrong. I didn't want to make a scene right away. Instead, I took a deep breath, looked her right in the eyes and asked, "Who is Mike to you, Emily?" The moment the words left my mouth, her face froze for half a second like she was caught off guard. Then she rolled her eyes and let out this bitchy laugh. "Oh, really? You're jealous now," she said, scoffing. "It's not like I haven't been honest with you. Mike's just a friend, nothing more. You're overreacting as usual." Her tone was dismissive, but I saw the flicker of guilt in her eyes. That's when I knew she was lying again. I pressed her harder. "Come on, Emily. I saw the messages. You called him babe, and you said you missed him last night. Don't bullshit me. What's really going on?" Her reaction was classic. She threw her hands up, rolled her eyes, and spat. "You're crazy. You're just jealous because I'm not ready for the wedding, that's all. It's not a big deal. It's just sex, Jake. People do stupid things when they're stressed, you know." That's when I realized she was a master manipulator. She'd always been good at lying, twisting things around, making herself seem like the victim. But this time, I wasn't buying it. I was hurt, yes, but I was also angry. How could she flip it like that, make it seem like I was the one overreacting? I told her, "You think just because you say it, just sex, it makes it okay. You slept with my brother, Emily. How could you do that? How could you sleep with someone so close to me so soon before our wedding?" Her face got even bitchier. "Your brother is a grown man, Jake. He's not some angel. Honestly, I don't even see what the big deal is. You're acting like I cheated on you with some stranger. It was just a one-time thing, a mistake. I didn't mean for you to find out like this. I was planning to tell you, but you're so paranoid you'd have probably freaked out anyway." Her excuse was as pathetic as I expected. She was trying to make me feel guilty, like I was the one blowing things out of proportion. But I knew she was lying. I could see it in her eyes. That night I felt like I was dealing with a stranger, someone I once loved but now just saw as a lying, manipulative bitch. The way she said it, just sex, like it was nothing, made me sick. I never thought she'd be capable of such betrayal. I couldn't believe I almost married her, that she'd sleep with my own brother, the guy I'd trusted like family, right before I was supposed to get married. The betrayal cut deep, and I knew then I'd never look at her the same way again. I felt my world shattering, piece by piece, right there in my own kitchen. After her lame excuse, I just stared at her for a long moment. I could see the bitchiness in her eyes, like she was trying to dismiss everything and make me feel like the crazy one. Honestly, I was exhausted, emotionally drained, and I knew that whatever I did next, my life wouldn't be the same. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, about to jump into a future I hadn't chosen. I told her, "You lied to me about everything. You told me you loved me, that you wanted forever. And all this time, while I was planning our wedding, you were out sleeping with my brother." My voice cracked and I couldn't hide the hurt. "How could you do that? How could you betray me like this?" Her reaction was classic. She just shrugged, looked annoyed, and said, "Oh, get over it. It's not like I slept with him 100 times. It was a one-time mistake, Jake. You're making a huge deal out of nothing." That's when I lost it. I couldn't hold back the anger anymore. I told her, "Nothing about this is nothing. You slept with my brother and you think you can just brush it off. Do you even realize what you've done to me, to us?" She rolled her eyes and spat, "You're overreacting as usual. You always blow things out of proportion and you're too paranoid. You're insecure. Maybe you're the one who's cheating on me, huh?" I was stunned. Her bitchy attitude was pushing me further into a rage I'd never felt before. I couldn't believe she was trying to turn it around, make me look guilty. But I also realized I'd reached my limit. I told her, "I don't want to hear your lies anymore. I need some space. I can't be with someone who cheats on me, especially with my own brother." She scoffed and said, "Fine, leave then, do whatever you want. Honestly, I don't care anymore." She stormed out of the kitchen, her heels clicking on the floor, leaving me standing there in disbelief. I felt every part of my world crumble: trust, love, hope, all gone in a matter of minutes. That night I sat alone, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything she'd said and done. I kept thinking about how she'd lied, manipulated, and betrayed me, how she'd been sneaking around while I was planning our future. The pain was sharp, but there was also this weird sense of clarity. I knew I couldn't stay with her, not after what I'd found out. It was over, all of it. The wedding, the future we'd talked about, it was all just a lie I'd believed for too long. I knew I had to decide what to do next. Part of me wanted revenge, to make her pay for all the lies and betrayal. But another part just wanted to walk away, trying to forget her and everything we'd shared. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just about cheating. It was about trust, respect, and the kind of person she really was. That night, I promised myself I'd never let myself fall for someone so manipulative again. I'd learned something about love and about betrayal that I'd never forget. The next morning, I woke up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. My head was pounding and my stomach was in knots. I knew I had to face her again, but honestly, I wasn't sure if I was ready. Still, I couldn't just ignore it. I needed some answers, some closure, or whatever you want to call it. I grabbed my phone, hesitated for a second, then shot her a text. "We need to talk." A few minutes later, she responded with a snarky, "What now?" That annoyed me even more. I told her to meet me at the park nearby. When she showed up looking bitchy and defensive, I took a deep breath and started. "Emily, I need to know why you did it. Why my brother? Why sleep with him right before our wedding?" She rolled her eyes, crossing her arms. "Honestly, Jake, you're not even worth this," she said. "It was just sex. We were drunk, bored, and it meant nothing. I don't even know why you're making such a big deal out of it." Her tone was dismissive, like I was just some inconvenience, but I wasn't buying it anymore. I looked at her and said, "You lied to me for months. You told me you loved me, that we were building a future. And meanwhile, you're out sleeping with my brother," she scoffed. "It's not like I planned it. It just happened. You think I'm some kind of monster. I'm not perfect, Jake. I make mistakes. Maybe you're the one who's been blind all along. Maybe I should have dumped you sooner." Her words stung, but I could see the bitchy attitude underneath. She was trying to manipulate me again, make me doubt myself. I wasn't going to let her. I told her, "That's bullshit. You're just trying to justify what you did. You're a liar and a cheater. I trusted you, Emily. I believed in us. And you threw it all away for some cheap sex with my brother. How could you be so selfish?" She rolled her eyes and said, "You're overreacting. You're just jealous because I didn't want to. Wait until after the wedding. Honestly, Jake, you're so insecure. Maybe you're the one who's been cheating all along." That was the last straw. Her bitchy, manipulative tone made me see her for what she really was, someone who doesn't care about anyone but herself. I told her I was done, that I was leaving and never coming back. She just sneered and turned away. "Good, go then. I don't even care anymore," she said. I walked away, feeling numb but also strangely relieved. For the first time, I saw her true colors: selfish, manipulative, and unfaithful. That moment was a wake-up call. I realized I'd been blind, but now I knew the truth. She wasn't the woman I thought I married. She was just a bitchy liar who slept with my brother, and I was better off without her. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing for sure: I'd never let anyone treat me like that again. The days that followed were a mix of chaos and clarity. I didn't go to work for a couple of days, just stayed in my apartment trying to process everything. Every time I thought about Emily, I felt a punch to the gut. I'd catch myself thinking about the wedding, the plans we made, the future I was so sure of. All of it was just a lie. She had never loved me the way I thought. Instead, she was out sleeping with my brother, lying, manipulating, and trying to make me doubt myself. I kept replaying the moments, the texts, the confrontations, her bitchy attitude. It hurt so much, but at the same time it was like a weight lifting. I finally saw her for what she really was. There was a part of me that wanted to lash out, to make her pay for all the betrayal. But I also knew I needed to do something smarter, something that would give me closure. One night, I sat down and drafted a message. Not for her, but for myself. I needed to say everything I'd been feeling, everything I'd discovered, and why I was done. I didn't send this to her, but just writing it out made me feel a little stronger. I poured my heart into it: how I trusted her, how I loved her, how I felt betrayed beyond words. I told her I knew about the affair, about her lying, her manipulation, and her sleeping with my brother. I said I'd never forgive her, not now, maybe not ever. I promised myself I'd move on, that I'd find someone who actually cared about me. But just before I finished writing that letter, I got a text. It was from my brother, Kevin. Honestly, I didn't expect to hear from him after everything. I hesitated before reading it. When I finally opened it, all it said was, "Jake, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen. I was just drunk, stupid. I regret everything." Part of me wanted to yell at him, call him a piece of shit. The other part just felt numb. I knew I'd have to face him sooner or later, but I wasn't ready. Still, hearing him say that, even if it was a half apology, made me realize something. This mess was bigger than just Emily. My trust was shattered, and I couldn't fix it overnight. I needed time. I needed to get away from all of it. So I made a decision. I was leaving town for a while, not just to escape the pain, but to give myself space to breathe, to think clearly. I found a small apartment in a nearby city and booked a one-way ticket. I didn't tell anyone exactly why I was leaving, just that I needed a break. I didn't want anyone bothering me, trying to fix what was broken, because I knew deep down that some things couldn't be fixed. Not this. Not Emily, not Kevin, not the lies that had been built around us. That night, as I packed my bags, I realized I had a choice: stay and fight for something that was already dead, or walk away and start over. The pain was intense, but I also felt a strange sense of relief. I was finally taking control. I'd learned that love isn't enough when betrayal runs this deep. I'd been naive, trusting everyone too easily. But now I was learning to protect myself, to stand up for myself. The road ahead wasn't clear, but I knew I'd be better off without her. Without her lies, her manipulations, her betrayal. It was time to rebuild, to find some semblance of happiness again. And maybe, somewhere down the line, I'd trust again. But for now, I just needed to get away, to heal, and to start fresh. As I stepped onto that bus heading out of town, I felt an odd mix of relief and emptiness. The pain hadn't fully gone, maybe it never would, but I was finally free from the chaos that had consumed my life the past few weeks. Sitting there, staring out the window at the unfamiliar scenery, I realized how much I'd been blind. I'd loved Emily, believed in us, trusted her with everything. And she'd betrayed me in the worst way possible, sleeping with my brother, lying, manipulating, and acting like I was the crazy one. For a while I blamed myself. Maybe I should have seen the signs earlier. Maybe I was too trusting, too naive. But then I remembered her bitchy attitude, her constant lies, her dismissiveness when I confronted her. That's when I understood I wasn't crazy. Her betrayal was real, and it had cut so deep that I had to run just to breathe again. Being away from everything gave me perspective. I started to see that love isn't just about promises or plans. Sometimes it's about respect, honesty, and loyalty. When those are broken, no amount of apologies can fix the damage. I learned that the hard way. But I also learned that I'm stronger than I thought. I survived her lies, her bullshit, her betrayal, and I was going to be okay. In the quiet moments, I reflected on what I'd lost, but also what I'd gained. I lost a woman I thought loved me, and I lost the illusion that I could trust anyone blindly. But I gained clarity. I learned to value myself more, to recognize red flags earlier, and to never settle for someone who treats me like an afterthought. I now know that some betrayals are too deep to forgive, and that's okay. Some things are better left behind. I don't regret the pain anymore, because it taught me what real love is. It's not sex with someone else's brother or lies or bitchy dismissals. Real love is respect, honesty, and loyalty. And I deserve that. As the city lights faded behind me and the open road stretched ahead, I finally felt hope. It's a slow process, healing after betrayal, but I'm starting to believe I'll find someone who genuinely cares, who values me for who I am, not who I pretend to be. And I'll never make the mistake of trusting blindly again. So here I am, moving forward. The past will always be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. I'm learning to rebuild, to trust myself again, and to remember that sometimes you have to lose everything to find your real strength. And that's exactly what I intend to do. Keep moving, keep learning, and never let someone tear me down like that again.